Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Department of Athletics, welcome to Cave Arena in the Johnny Mize Athletic Center, Piedmont University. Davis Barlow, Assistant Director of Athletic Communication, here with you for game number 2 of this doubleheader. Piedmont men's team now taking on Huntington. It's Alumni Day, big day here on campus for both of these programs. Plenty of alumni to go around. It's good to see so many familiar faces. A lot of faces that put in a ton of minutes for both of these programs, meaningful minutes at that. If you were here with us for game number 1, we had a couple former Piedmont women's basketball players join us on the broadcast. Jalen Davis, one of those, played here from 2015 to 2019. She now works over in the admissions office here at Piedmont University. And then, of course, Piedmont legend Amari Price joined us on the broadcast for half a quarter there. Again, Price, don't let her undersell herself, is one of the all-time greats here at Piedmont, leading scorer, 1,240 career points in 108 games. She leads Piedmont in a multitude of categories historically, and again, the list of achievements, we could sit here all day and talk about those. And, well, we've got something similar set up for the men's game to go around. Our first guest will join us here in the first half, just after the 12-minute timeout. It'll be Mikey Joseph. Played a ton of meaningful minutes and had some big games in his career against teams like Huntington. Mikey spent a lot of his time down on the low block. He's a big guy. We'll also hear from Dalton Mueller, another Piedmont alumni, graduated last year. He played 5 years here in Demorest. Put in a ton of meaningful minutes down on that low block. And then we'll be joined by Octavius Mulligan. He is the Dean of the College of Education here at Piedmont University. He played for Piedmont way back in the 90s, also coached here for 7 years. So we're excited to have him here. We'll hear about the School of Education here at Piedmont, the standard that he holds it to, and really how things have changed since he played here nearly 30 years ago. Time flies when you're having fun. Speaking of fun, we are a minute and a half away from tip-off. We have starting lineups. There will be no national anthem since both of these teams were present earlier for the doubleheader. Of course, national anthem before the first game. But we'll cover starting lineups, introduce the players, and get this one underway. Piedmont, this is a big game for them as well. They're 9-4 entering today's contest. They had quite the start to the season, but some injuries and illness have really kind of derailed some of the momentum. So they're looking to get it back on track. Again, the early season loss, their first regular season game loss came against Emory, 91-83 here in Cave Arena. They played a game before that did not count towards their record, but they played Coastal Carolina, Division I, big Division I there. They lost 88-86. They were leading that game with 1 minute to go. Ended up dropping that contest. Then they went on a winning streak. Warren Wilson, Wheaton College, Alma College, Methodist, Birmingham Southern, and Millsaps all fell to the Lions. Brevard did snap that winning streak here in Cave Arena by 3. But then Piedmont got back to the winning ways, took down Bob Jones, took down Methodist. But since then, it's been a little bit rocky. Losses to Birmingham Southern. Again, a team that they rallied back and beat in overtime here earlier in the season. They did drop that game at Birmingham Southern, 86-91, and then a blowout loss. They could not score a bucket. It was 65-83 to Greensboro. They won it yesterday against LaGrange in a shootout, 113-106. That was the opening of CCS play. We'll see how they do here for Huntington. And this is a big one here because Belhaven, who many thought was going to be the favorite there, Belhaven has apparently has 2 7-footers, which in Division III is kind of unheard of to see that kind of height down in the paint. Round of applause for all the alumni today. Men's basketball turned out a bunch. 8, 9, 10. I see at least 11 alumni here, some from recent classes, some from a long time ago here. So it's great to see so many familiar faces back in Cave Arena. Again, no national anthem. We go straight to starting rosters. Max Gardner, B.J. Brown, Tate Goolsby, Jalen Washington, Randall Davis. That's how Huntington will line up. And then for Piedmont, it's the usual suspects. That's what we call them. The forward, Joe Hellenbrook, who really plays like a center, starting to come into his own. He's getting the height going there. He's listed, I believe it's 6'8", but I mean, he is a mountain of a player. He's listed at 6'7", but he plays like he's 7 foot. So we're excited to have him down on that low block. Noah Reardon and Ryan Jolly, the two guards, to get the start. Fisher Darden as well, who has really come onto the scene as a premier scorer and a premier player for this Lions squad. And then Devin Dean, the South Carolina native, will round out that 5. Dean doesn't really bring it with the height, listed as a guard, but he plays like a forward. Loves to play down on that low block. Real hustle guy there. It is a veteran lineup for Piedmont. Of course, Hellenbrook, the senior. Reardon, the senior. Jolly, the graduate senior. Darden, the only one, a sophomore. And then Dean, a senior. So we'll see how deep the Piedmont bench goes. Again, we mentioned injuries. They have Hellenbrook back. He has been out for a couple games, rolled his ankle, and then unfortunately also had the flu, so he missed some time as well with that. Of course, seasonal things like that do tend to happen, but it's good to have him back. Again, it's been an injury-riddled year for Piedmont, and they're still 9-4 coming into this game. Big positives there for them, 1-0 in conference, and as we hear bring them out, that means it's time to get this started. 2 halves of 20 minutes each, a little bit different than the women's game, but we are set underway. Media timeouts every 4 minutes, 16-12, 8-4. Hellenbrook and Randall line up for the tip. It is won by the Hawks, and we are underway in Cave Arena. It's Gardner out wide. Washington to Brown. Brown trying to penetrate this zone defense. Again, Piedmont runs a extended zone. 3-ball won't go. Darden rebound. Had it poked loose, but it ends up right in the hands of the premier scorer, Ryan Jolly. Jolly leads the conference in scoring as Darden, the lost art of the mid-range jumper. Not lost upon him. He is money from the mid-range floor. He shoots 53% from the floor overall, 47 from 3, and is a 92% free throw shooter. Out wide to Gardner. Cross court. Ran him off the line. He'll step in for 2. It does not go, and Jolly will grab the board. That's another thing. Jolly is a stat sheet stuffer. He'll grab boards. He'll drop assists. He's obviously going to score. Darden again, the mid-range jumper. This time it will not go. Mentioned Jolly leading the conference scoring. Piedmont is 6th in the country for Division III as I believe Gardner stepped out of bounds. Piedmont 6th in all of Division III in scoring. The Lions just pour on the points, 91.5 average per game. They only give up 80. Big take from Dean, uses the body there to just move Randall Davis out of the way, and it's 2 points for the South Carolina native. Dean wanted to take the charge, might have gotten away with a block, and then Hellenbrook will get tied up with Goolsby. Possession arrow says ball to Piedmont. Another stat to look at as well. Hellenbrook is a monster on the boards. Of course, again, he did miss time with that ankle injury, but he was previously on pace to break the single-season record for rebounds gathered. Obviously, he's going to be behind pace, missing a couple games as Dean spins into the lane, looks for some help, found Hellenbrook up under, and he's going to be forced to dive to the floor. This one does a good job to stay in bounds. Jolly with 7 to work with. Jolly tells him to clear out. 5 to work with. To the left hand, a little fake, under. Darden was standing out of bounds when he received the pass, so it will be a turnover there. Hellenbrook averaging 8 rebounds a game. If he can get near 10, he should be able to break the record, as that one won't go. Offensive rebound, Randall Davis, and immediately stuffed and has it taken away. Up the court to Reardon. Tough drive, and he's blocked from behind. Good job there by Goolsby to stay with the play. 25 to work with. Inbound right to Hellenbrook in the paint. One dribble. Feed under to Darden, and it's off his leg. Another turnover for the Lions here. Sloppy early. Noah Reardon's having a great season for the Lions here. The senior, Lake Mary, Florida, averaging 10.8 points, as that's a knockdown bucket from B.J. Brown, and the Hawks are on the board. Jolly, 24.2 points per game average. He is crazy as Reardon pulls up for the three. It will not go. Rebound to Gardner. Gardner looking to force the issue. Big drive right past Darden. He'll lay it up. Tie ball game. Darden averages 13.1 in his own right. Dean averaging 10. So many Lions in double figures, and again, it's not surprising when you're 6th in the country in total offense. Another player we'll see later in this game, Bailey Wiseman, double-digit average as well, as Hellenbrook threatened to pull the three. Now we'll pull this pull-up jumper from the elbow. Does not go. Same team there for Huntington. Rebound credited to Goolsby. Back to the top. Oh, petty foul on Jolly. First couple subs of the game. Hawks wanted to make the change. Ooh, good little drive step, and just can't quite get the roll. Offensive rebound won't go. Another offensive board. That was Goolsby down in the paint, putting in the work. They're going to get Hellenbrook on the foul. Hellenbrook's got to be careful. He fouled out of the last game. That has been the only thing that you could really nitpick. As we now get an offensive foul. Newly checked in Nate Johns, the junior, whistled for that foul. But again, really a Hellenbrook complete player, can stretch the floor. Rebounds, plays defense, only nitpicking as far as fouls go. And, well, that dead ball under 16 minutes means we're headed to the first media timeout. So when we come back, 15:56 on the clock. It's 4-4 here in Cave Arena. Welcome back here. Under 16 media timeout complete. It's 4-4. Cave Arena. Neither team shooting particularly well from the floor early. Just 33% for Piedmont, 25% for Huntington. Jolly. Pull up three. Hits every part of the rim and then kicks out. Now in transition. Hawks trying to make something work. Good little dump down pass shot, and they're going to get Hellenbrook on his second foul there. It's Nate Johns down low forcing that issue. Hellenbrook has 2 now. He's going to have to head to the bench. Unfortunate there for Hellenbrook. We just talked about early fouls and foul trouble with him, and he finds himself in some early. In comes Wiseman for him. 1 point lead for the Hawks here as the first free throw did go. Second one does not. Loose ball, and it'll be out of bounds off of Huntington. Good hustle there from the newly checked in Miles Murphy. Just couldn't quite gather it and keep it in bounds, but I like the effort. Give credit where credit's due. Jolly being trapped up the floor. He'll kick it up to Wiseman. Piedmont will have 21 to work with. Jolly to Wiseman on the wing. Hard cut middle. And shot from the right elbow does not go. Rebound out to Townsend. Brown wants to force the issue here. He really likes to test these waters in transition, see if that Piedmont defense will crack. Big drive and take. Good step from Dean, and they're going to get a block. A little bit too much body contact there on Murphy. It's just Dean's first. Team's fourth here. Jeremy Otten checking in for Goolsby here. He'll take his first breather. 15 exactly on the clock right now. Jolly guarding Brown closely, down low. Good take and finish there from Nate Johns. Won the positioning battle. Wins it at the rim as well. Darden, big crossover, right-handed layup will not go. No rebound as well. Up the floor we go once again. Out to Brown. Transition 3, almost banked it in. That's got to be a travel. Nobody didn't put the ball on the floor. He'll get away with it. Auden immediately checking in, making his presence felt here. Now to Wiseman at the top, just inside the Lion logo. Looking to go to work. Pick from Dean. Hand off to Jolly. Jolly through traffic. Backdoor feed to Darden, and it's going to be on the floor. But we will get a foul on Auten. So not shooting free throws here. Change is coming as Jeremiah Carter-Johnson will make his first appearance in this game as Dean heads to the bench. 2 changes for the Hawks as well. Reardon. Fake the 3. Jolly going to work on Brown. Pull up 3, does not go. It's short. Long rebound out to Brown. He does not have numbers, but he's still going to press this one right past Jolly. Oh, and we're getting some ticky-tack fouls here. They're going to get Jolly with his second foul here as well. And both the fouls on Jolly. Been low contact. And that's now 2 of Piedmont's premier scorers in foul trouble early. Still 13:37 left in the first half, and Jolly and Hellenbrook both with 2. First free throw did not go from Brown. Jolly's never really had trouble with fouls, which is why you're not going to see him head to the bench. Trap with some pressure, up to Reardon, out to Darden in the corner. Thought about the 3. Now it's to Wiseman. To JCJ, back to Wiseman, wide open, will take the long 2, doesn't go, and Piedmont. The shooting percentages continue to worsen and worsen here. They have not found a bucket in a hot minute. That one does not go, and that should be an over-the-back foul. Should be on Murphy. Yep, it's going to be on Murphy, over the back. Third team foul for the Hawks here. Jolly, top of the key. Wants that backdoor feed to Darden, and it's interrupted by Auten there. That'll be his second foul. Holding just a little bit too much. Griffin Neville checking in for Piedmont. Here's Darden will take his first break of the game. Neville's had some good games thus far this season as Reardon turns that one over. Neville season high 13 points, did that twice, but he is also prone to fouls, and he immediately gives one away there. It's going to be an and one opportunity for Auten here. Neville 51% from the floor. He transferred in from Young Harris, averaging 6 points a game. Again, has scored 13 points on two separate occasions. And one does not get converted. Free throw clanks iron. Well, it's an outlet to Wiseman. Wiseman, you knew he was taking that one, and it's blocked there by the Hawks. In transition, corner find, Auten, run off the line. Auten worked himself into a bad spot, and he traveled. Well, that's a couple turnovers now from Auten. 12:34 left here. Next dead ball under 12. We will head to break, and then Mikey Joseph will be joining us here on the broadcast after that one. Not going to want to miss that. We'll get to hear about how Big Mike's doing, his time here, what he thinks of this Piedmont team, and take a trip down memory lane. Tough bucket from Noah Reardon. Fights through the contact, gets the finish, and breaks the scoreless drought for Piedmont. That was almost a 6-minute scoreless drought. That one doesn't go. Offensive rebound, though, will go. Miles Murphy putting in the work on the glass. Piedmont down by 8 here. Next dead ball takes us to the under 12, and quite frankly, Piedmont needs it. We might see a timeout here if we just continue to not be able to score, as Noah Reardon for 3 will not go. Rebound to Max Gardner. Gardner to Brown. Piedmont again in that zone defense. Huntington's been good with it, and they'll get the foul on Jeremiah Carter-Johnson. That'll be his first, team's 7th. And with that, we're headed to the under 12 media timeout. When we come back, Mikey Joseph will be with us. Welcome back here. Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. The legend, Mikey Joseph, in the booth. Mike, welcome back.
Man, thanks for having me, Davis. It's great to be back at Piedmont. Just like old times, buddy. I mean, we did this one time some odd years ago, but nonetheless, great to be back.
Feels like forever ago as Jeremiah Carter-Johnson gets the takeaway. Big take from Reardon again, won't fall. And there are 5 white jerseys in that paint looking for that rebound. They are controlling the glass. Big dish here and layup will not go. Bounced around. JCJ comes away with it. Well, let's see what this whistle is about. Well, Mike, this gives us a great chance. First off,
let's do it, baby.
How does it feel to be back?
Feels good. Always love coming back to Piedmont and seeing Coach Neely, Coach Cavan, the rest of the guys. And I was telling my family, I was like, I only know a handful of guys on this team for when I played. So it's just good to come back, see the guys, see all the alumni here today. It's really special.
Yeah, it is Alumni Day here. The men's program brought back a ton of alumni, all of them recognized at the beginning of this game. And, I mean, it's really great to see everybody here. So we have a technical foul being assessed. Oh, boy.
I couldn't tell you what happened there, Davis.
Yeah, I'm looking for some direction or indication from the table on why there is a technical foul being assessed. Which is interesting because it's 2 free throws for Huntington, but it's going to be Piedmont ball. The game clock and shot clock remained where they were. Well, now they might come and redirect the shot clock back to 30. No, they're going to tell them to leave it. Okay. Interesting, Mike. You brought the chaos with you here. Piedmont not shooting great right now. Just 21% from the floor before that, or after that media break here. What's the offense really need to do to start clicking?
I don't know, man. I know this offense is really good. It's been good all year. They just got to get in their rhythm. They just look a little frazzled right now. I think Huntington's doing a good job on defense, kind of taking Piedmont out of their game. So I think we just got to slow down and take good open shots. I think that's the main thing right now.
That was a big block by Nate Johns there. Just continue to make Piedmont uncomfortable in the paint. And now we're just throwing the ball away. Yeah. Noah Reardon goes crashing into the steps. He's up on the 4th row. Actually did a great job not to fall there. Mike, what's one thing you really miss about playing and being amongst this team?
Man, it was just the community. Not just Piedmont as a whole, but specifically this basketball team and all the guys I had around me, being able to mentor to the younger guys, and just the brotherhood, man, is really, really different here. And obviously, you can see with all the alumni down there, it lasts a lifetime. So,
I think that's a great way to put it. We have a testament to what this place builds, and I mean, we've Lions from different generations here. Saw some guys who played back in the '90s,
I know.
Guys who said they graduated here in the '70s.
I
mean, it is good to see everybody back here. So, free throw did go. The foul was charged to Lesh. He made a good little football tackle, but wrong sport here.
I'll tell you what, though, Coach Neely's got something really good going right now with this team, and it's really exciting to watch.
They're going to get Neville on the foul here. Big push on Tate Goolsby, and that'll send him right back to the free throw line. Once again, historic start for Piedmont. Came out the gates so hot. Big win streak after a tough loss to Emory. You almost beat a D1 in an exhibition.
That was amazing.
So,
man.
It's faltered as of late. The offense really, really sputtered against Greensboro. Just 65 points there in a near 20-point loss. Big win against LaGrange, though. 113 points yesterday.
It's always good when you beat LaGrange, man. That's one of those games where you got to win every single one because it just feels so good after. The same thing with Huntington too. This quick turnaround. They got to slow down. They got to get back into their game and in their rhythm, but they'll be okay. A lot of game left, so.
A lot of game left is a positive way to look at a 19-6 deficit right now, as Piedmont again continuing to just struggle to score the basketball here. 10:38 left in our first half of action. JCJ big drive, kick out to Wiseman. He's hard down the paint. Good little step to create space there, and the bucket is knocked down for 2.
Just need a little momentum.
We'll see what Piedmont can muster here. This is big. defensive stand for the Lions here. Tough low post shot will go. Nate Johns again, just really controlling the pace here. Mike, we talked about the atmosphere here. What would you say to any really prospective students or student athletes thinking about coming here? What's it like to really be here consistently in Cave Arena?
Man, it's obviously not a huge gym, but it's a perfect size. Whatever size crowd there is, they're always loud, they're energetic, they're into the game, which makes it fun, right? I mean, that's what makes this Division III basketball so fun. You got smaller crowds, smaller gyms, but they get louder, get a little more energetic, and it's just a good time. It's just great Division III atmosphere. So,
and again, this is a great crowd here. And fun fact, there's no students on campus yet.
Yeah, there's no students yet.
Classes have not started yet.
Yeah, it makes it even better. That's
so
awesome.
This is all local, either alumni, Habersham locals, or just folks coming out to catch a ball game there as we're going to get a travel here. Great job by Lesh to run him off the line.
The students really come out and support, which is amazing, and I think that goes for any sport here. All the students support everybody. So,
yeah, great atmosphere, great culture here at Piedmont as the Lions trail by 13. Group substitutions for both squads here as Jolly checks back in. A little bit of foul trouble for both him and Hellenbrook. Both had 2 early. But Hellenbrook's been plagued by fouls.
Good pass.
Last couple games he's checked in. Dean tough down the lane will draw the foul. You could give this to either Goolsby or Johns. They'll give it to Johns. It's his second personal foul.
It's a great find by Jolly. Great roll by Devin. Just got to get back to our bread and butter, man. That's it.
Exactly. Mike, throughout your time here, what's your favorite memory of playing here?
Oh, boy. It wasn't on this court. It was at LaGrange, my senior year. Obviously, with COVID, we couldn't have fans at any of the games, but that was a game that we wanted to be able to go to the conference championship. And like I said earlier, anytime you beat LaGrange, it's fantastic. It's a feel-good win. So we beat them at their place, and that was an incredible win. But obviously, just being, playing in Cave Arena, every game was fun. It was awesome. Great memories. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but overall, it was an incredible 4 years.
That's big ups to Caleb Lesh right there. Big knockdown 3 as that's a foul on Darden that just doesn't get called. He gets away with one there. Jolly up to Dean. Has Fish behind him. Instead, he'll take it to the lane, and he will draw the foul against B.J. Brown. So Dean to the line once again. Free throws, not Dean's strong suit. Shoots just 45% from the line. He's also had plenty of opportunities. Devin Dean loves to get down in the paint, go to work. He has had in a multitude. He's had 60 opportunities coming into today, just 27 makes. Already made one earlier, and he will make the first of 2 here. So Mike, Piedmont continue to just chip away the lead, like you said, the bread and butter. It's just what you have to do. It's such a long game. It's tough to not to want to force the issue and get right back into it immediately.
It's tough. Can't let the defense rush you in your offense. You just got to take a step back, take your time, do what works, and they're trying to chip away. It's only a 9-point lead right now, so just keep chipping away, get a few more stops, a few more buckets, be right back in this game.
So Devin Dean went 2 for 2 as B.J. Brown hard down the lane, works his way around Jolly. Again, Jolly 2 fouls, just has to be careful down there. Not much he can do.
Yeah.
Lead back to 11. 8:13 left. Next dead ball under 8. Send us to another media timeout. Lesh for 3 here. Pull up. Oh, it's an air ball, and it is straight out of bounds. Not a good look there from one of the younger kids. Again, this is a veteran squad, Mike. What's it like when you have such really wily veterans and then some really talented young players to mix in?
It's a great mix. You got that veteran leadership on the locker room, in the court, on campus, and then you got a lot of new, fresh faces that are coming in. And once they become veteran players, it's like a continuous cycle, So it's really great. We got the veteran leadership that we have to be able to share what the culture is and help out these young guys. I had a great opportunity to do that with Joe and Noah when they were freshmen here and I was a senior. Those 2 guys, those guys, they were awesome. They really looked up to me, and I helped them out as much as I could. So, just continuous cycle here. The veteranship and the new guys coming in, it's a great thing.
Fouls on Wiseman. It'll take us to the under 8 media timeout. Big Mike, it's been fun going down memory lane.
Great.
So
Thanks
much fun to have you up here. So we're going to take a break here. Piedmont trails by 11 when we come back. Back here out of the under 8 media timeout. Max Gardner. Nate Johns tied for the scoring lead for Huntington, 7 points apiece. Nate Johns is getting it done everywhere. 4 boards, 7 points. Does have 2 personal fouls. Got to be a little bit careful there. BJ Brown leads the Hawks with 3 assists. For Piedmont, a little bit of foul trouble. Hellenbrook and Jolly, both with 2 as Brown's first free throw, front iron and out. Devin Dean leads the Lions with scoring with 5. Jolly's nabbed up 3 boards and 3 Lions with assists thus far. 7:39 left in the first half of action. Second free throw's good. 12-point lead for the Hawks. Dean. Free throw line jumper. No good. Rebound to Brown. Ooh, Brown, long three-pointer will go. Knocked down. 15-point lead. Jolly feeds Dean here. Looking for a couple screens. No real off-ball action here. Handoff to Darden. Darden gonna get called for the travel. He hit the fadeaway jumper, but it will not count. 31-16. Not the ideal performance we were hoping to see out of the Lions thus far. Hellenbrook's back in the game. Great defense there. Grabs the board as well. Now it's Jolly looking to push the floor. Jolly fake the handoff to Darden. Wants to go to the free throw line. Handoff to Hellenbrook. Little floater from the big man does not go. And man, he's got to be careful down there fighting with Auten for that board. Auten comes away the victor. Long three-pointer once again, and Huntington just can't miss right now. Jalen Washington for 3. Huntington shooting over 50% from the floor. Piedmont trying just to scrape to the 30% mark. 6:10 left. Is Jolly going to be fouled, I believe, by Brown? Nope, they're going to get 2-4 on that. Jalen Washington. That is the team's 7th foul, meaning we go to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity with one of Piedmont's better free throw shooters. Jolly 90% from the charity stripe. He is 80 of 89 coming into today. Makes the first one. Reardon going to check in for Lesh here. Lesh, the sophomore, gets good minutes. Really filler minutes for any of the guards that are tired. Second one is good. Piedmont, so many talented guards there. It's really plug and play on the day. Whoever's got the hot shot. You can see 6 or 7 guards really fill that role. Dean, Johnson, and Hellenbrook, the three big men down low, as that was some good defense and takeaway, though Jolly just lost that one. Washington back to Brown. Now to Randall Davis, back to Brown. Brown, pull-up jumper's good. Huntington can't miss. 36-18, 5:30 left. Darden thought about the threes, run off the line. He'll take the mid-range jumper. It's short by a mile. Dean able to grab the board. Darden, second chance. Might should have just pulled it. Instead, he'll hand it back to Jolly. 14 on the shot clock to work with. Out to Reardon. Now to Dean. Dean with 8. Dean spinning down the lane. Dean going to get called for the travel. Would have to confirm this, but I believe this is the least amount of points Piedmont offense has scored in the first half all season long at this pace. Looks like still some time left. The other season low looking like Greensboro with 26. Brown loses that one out of bounds. Good defense from Jolly. Piedmont normally a first half team. Able to really pour it on, get out to an early lead. So far, not so good. Jolly spinning down the lane. Jolly, tough bucket, gets the roll. I've become so accustomed to just seeing plays like that here in Cave Arenas. Hellenbrook rejects that layup. Good board there. From the newly checked in Zach Exley. That's Aughton's third as well, so that will see the end of his half. It's Exley that will head to the line. Exley, again, normally filling in almost as a role player. Really the true definition of a role player, but he's getting some meaningful minutes here. He cannot convert the first 1-and-1 though. Really a good foul there by Huntington as well, because you had a player leaking upfield, or I should say up court, for a cherry pick couple points before Exley was fouled. Brown calls for the screen, gets it, now double teamed here. Dean can guard well out on the perimeter. That's a nice thing. Loves to play down inside, but can guard the perimeter. Brown, good pump, fake and pull. Will not go. Rebound inside. Not much that Hellenbrook can do, and it is out off of him. Shot clock should stay at 17. Season low for Piedmont was at Birmingham Southern in the first half, where they only scored 24 points. That was actually, versus Birmingham Southern. That was at home. That game went to overtime, where Piedmont did pick up the win. 91-83 here in Cave Arena. It was a thriller. Out to the corner. 3 ball will go for the Hawks. Jalen Washington. As this lead now stretched to 19, next dead ball will take us to the final media timeout of the first half. Exley now, back to Dean. Dean, corner, Reardon, 3, will go, Noah Reardon. That's a sight we've come accustomed to see. Noah Reardon is money from beyond the arc. Looking to return the favor is the Hawks. It will not go. Spins out, and Dean's being held there by Tate Goolsby. That is Goolsby's first foul. And it will send Dean to the free throw line. That dead ball takes us to the under 4 media timeout, where we come back. Piedmont trailing by 16, and Devin Dean's at the line. here in Cave Arena. Piedmont trailing by a bunch here. Down 39-23 with 3:24 left in this one. Hawks are being led in scoring by B.J. Brown. He has 11 points. Hawks shooting just under 50% as a team, 50% from three. Meanwhile, Piedmont 8 of 26 from the floor, just 2 of 8 from three. Devin Dean, 2 free throws. No, just one, excuse me. Sorry about that. It is just a 1. As Piedmont not quite in the bonus. That one is out off of the missed free throw, off of a white jersey. 20 on the shot clock. Inbound to Hellenbrook, top of the key. To Dean, just beyond the free throw line. Dean out to Reardon for the 3 ball, and it goes again. Noah Reardon doing everything he can to keep Piedmont in this one. He's leading the team with scoring with 8. He's also 2 for 4, and that is a turnover on the Hawks. Cave Arena starting to get loud. The Alumni over in that corner. That's all the men's basketball alumni. Joined by some of the current women's basketball players and alumni. Jolly going to work now. Jolly, a couple crossovers here, steps in the lane, had a poke loose. Floater towards Hellenbrook, and it is still Piedmont ball. Hellenbrook's done a good job to work himself out of foul trouble. Here's the inbounds to Exley. Reardon, the hot hand. Back to Exley. Thought about pulling it. Tough drive down the lane. Even more tough floater. Dean fighting hard inside. Got the board, but got it blocked by Washington. Big take. Reardon stepped in front. Oh, and the basket will count. They're going to get Reardon on the block. Don't know about that one. Be his first personal foul. Wow, we're going to take a look at this one. Wow. Maybe, I don't think this is a reviewable play as far as foul or no foul. Are they looking to see if there was a flagrant? Not too sure what they took a look at for. They did come over to the replay monitor, but Max Gardner will go to the line for 1. This will put him in double digits if he makes it, and he does. 10 points. Max Gardner here. Nothing real notable in the Piedmont stats. Reardon, the leading scorer with 8. Lions trail by 16 with 2:24 left. Dean lost control of that one. Got it back. Top to Exley, out to Hellenbrook for 3. Oh, hit every part of the rim and backboard, but will not drop in. Turnover there by Max Gardner. Ran out of room between Hellenbrook and the ref. 2:07 left in this one before we head to halftime. Folks, when we come out of halftime, you're definitely going to want to be here. Octavius Mulligan, the Dean of the College of Education and a Piedmont basketball alumni, is Noah Reardon. Splash home 3 yet again. He's got 11. He's letting them know. And Octavius Mulligan will be joining us on the broadcast right out of halftime. And then Dalton Mueller will also be here a little bit later in the half. Long 3 from Jalen Washington will go. Anything you can do, so can he. He now has 9 points. Reardon's thinking about it. B.J. Brown's guarding him well beyond the arc. Out to Hellenbrook. Stop and pop near the free throw line. Will not go. Exley can't grab the board, and the woes continue for the offense here. 29 points, though. It will not be a season low in the first half. Piedmont's only scored in the 20s 3 times in the first half. One of them was the Greensboro loss. One was the overtime victory game here against Birmingham Southern. And then this would be the third. So I guess I should say they've only scored twice. Kick out. Corner. Washington for three. He just can't miss. And he's letting the crowd know he now leads the Hawks with 12 points. Ryan Jolly for three. It does not go. Another board grabbed up by Goolsby. Goolsby is putting in work on that glass. He's only got 2 points, but he has near double-digit rebounds already. Another three-pointer will not go. Dean does a good job to poke it back out. It's Gardner again down the lane, and he'll get it to fall this time. 22 on the clock here. Shot clock is off, and Piedmont will call a timeout. 20.6, and they're down by 21. We'll take the short 30-second break. Oh, don't go anywhere. Last 20 seconds of the first half coming up right after this. We'll see what head coach Greg Neely has drawn up here. 20.6, shot clock is off. It's tough to look at this as a crucial bucket for Piedmont, but it really is here. I mean, you need to get the lead under 20 headed into half for moral reasons. 19, 18 points looks and feels a lot better than anything with a 2 in front of it. Hand off to Lesh for three, knocked down. That'll cut the lead to 18. 2 seconds. Inbound. Brown. It will count from half court. He almost made it, but it does not. So we'll head to halftime here. Piedmont trails by 18. When we come back, Octavius Mulligan, Dean of the College of Education, will be joining us on the broadcast. You're not going to want to miss it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Davis Barlow, now joined by the Dean of Education, Mr. Octavius Mulligan here. Excited to have you.
Excited to be here.
Yes, sir. You are one of the many alumni in the house here today. Big weekend on campus, doubleheader Friday, Saturday with Alumni Day today. What's it like seeing the development of Cave Arena and really the program where it is now from where it was when you were here?
Well, so, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Student Success Center, but that's where I played.
Yes, sir.
The Cave Arena was just trees at the time when I was here. So just to see the university involved to this is amazing, and it's awesome.
This facility, again, is one of the newer portions of this campus. A great development here. You can see the branding and really the color pattern, the development overall of what we've attempted to create and have created here is a culture of really excellence and then an atmosphere of fun surrounded by students, locals, alumni, and really a testament to what the athletic department has tried to do since your time here.
That's right.
Talk to us a little bit about your time here.
Well, I came here as a freshman in 1989, and I redshirted the first year. I didn't play, so my first year in basketball was 1990, and
okay.
Huge difference. We didn't have a training room. We didn't have a trainer. Some of the things that these student athletes now are blessed to have, we didn't have some of those things. So, I can remember times when we were traveling to places like LaGrange and Huntington, we drove vans ourselves as players.
That is crazy how times have changed. Fisher Darden for three. It will not go. Rebound to Devin Dean here. Putback is good. Piedmont on the board, but they've already given up a three, a turnover, and a bucket in transition here. How's the culture changed from seeing what head coach Greg Neely's worked on here now to really what you guys had here back in the 90s?
Well, it's totally different. We had an amazing coach when I was here, and he's a Hall of Famer, and Maxie Skinner. But what Greg Neely has done here is he's created the Lions brand in the athletic department, and these guys have bought into what is happening here, and that's why, they're down now, but they're not going to go away in this game. But what he's done here is created an atmosphere of the student athlete, and these guys work hard in the classroom and on the court.
They did. Jolly forced the turnover there. It's Dean in transition. He'll get the bucket and the foul. They'll assess the foul to B.J. Brown, who is the current leading scorer for this squad of Hawks here. He's got to be a little bit careful. That is his second personal foul early here in the second half. Dean for the and one opportunity. It will go. Lions have cut the lead down to 18 here. As you've mentioned, Greg Neely, and of course you played for the great Maxie Skinner here, Hall of Famer, well known around these parts as well. His daughter spent some time here, granddaughter I should say, spent some time here. Liv. Played some great minutes for Jamie Purdy here. What's the coolest thing about what you think now the student athlete experience is about at Piedmont?
Well, it's an amazing team atmosphere. The team traveled to Chicago this year to play in a tournament. I don't think my time here, we've gone to Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, places like that, but never Chicago or anything like that. So I think that's a pretty awesome thing that they're doing now, and they're in a conference and they're in a league that's pretty prestigious, being NCAA D3.
Ooh, tough attempt there from Jolly as he does get fouled. Speaking of the NCAA, Jolly, one of the leading scorers in all of the NCAA, has been quiet here today as that three's off. He'll grab the board right on cue. He's averaging 24.2 points per game as that's a hard foul on Reardon. Jolly still single-digit points today. Piedmont 6th overall in scoring in all of Division III. They average 91.5 points a game.
Wow, that's amazing.
That kind of offensive production, again, as you mentioned, has really come from being able to play some of the top teams in the country. Trip to Chicago, win over Wheaton, win over Alma. Guys got to go to a Bulls game. I know they were stoked about that as well. And
they were.
Really the opportunity that the universities is now able to provide through the athletic department is unlike any other, really, especially for Division III as well. We do such a good job of the student-athlete experience. For the Department of Education, you took over there recently, I believe back in July of 23.
July 1st was my first day. I actually retired from White County school system in August and then started here in July. So I was kind of working both jobs and was given the opportunity to do both. So I wanted to close out where I was and then start new here. So, but I'm excited to come back and work in the school or the college that provided so much for me. If it wasn't for the College of Education and the professors that I've had the opportunity to take classes from, I don't know that I would be here in this position right now.
And the Department of Education already carries a very prestigious weight with it now. What's your overall goal with some of the changes you want to implement, but also the continued development of the department?
So the overall goal is to get students into our programs and provide them with the tools needed to be successful teachers. And one of the things that we want to get back to is the cohort model, where we set up cohorts in different parts of the states, and we provide courses for those teachers that want to have advanced degrees. So that's been a challenge because now everybody has a program, an advanced degree program, and sometimes we want our product to be the best product. And for the best, you have to pay for the best. And sometimes our tuition's a little bit higher than others. But I guarantee you, when you walk out of our program, you'll be a better teacher than you were before you started.
And there are many student-athletes involved in that program, as well as graduate programs available from the Department of Education there. Piedmont slowly starting to rally back into this one. Knocked down 3 from Fisher Darden. They forced a couple turnovers here. Reardon picked up an assist as well. What would you say to either really a prospective student-athlete, but also for graduate students who maybe want to come and get their masters and finish their careers on the floor or on the field?
Well, it's pretty simple. There's not a lot to say. We don't want you to consider Piedmont. We want you to graduate from Piedmont. That's the bottom line. We don't want you to think about it. We want you to come and be a part of our programs, get an advanced degree, and be a better educator than you were before.
That is an awesome message to send. There was a hard foul on Dean right there. Of course, the Alumni going to add to the reaction, but we do have a discussion here between the refs. They are probably going to go to the replay to look for a flagrant here. It was borderline to the naked eye. We will see. They're going to go to a review to take a look for a flagrant foul here.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard foul.
It was. And then, again, as the continued development of games, it's not like the 90s where when somebody came down the lane, you got to rough them up a little bit. They take player safety very seriously.
That was a common foul, and we definitely didn't have instant replay.
This is even new to Division III. This is the first year where Division III has had replay required.
Really? Okay.
So, again, of course, we only have the one camera angle. We're not ESPN, but this is the first year where they've had the availability to come look at fouls like this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, in your day, I think we would have had a foul, a couple free throws moved on, but now they're going to take a little bit longer look at this.
Yeah, we were using the big VHS video cameras, so a little different than when I was playing.
We'll see what the outcome is. The ref is headed over to talk to the Huntington coach. I do believe we are going to get a flagrant.
Yeah, I think they're looking at doing a flagrant foul or calling a flagrant foul because the guys are sending them back across half court. So normally what that means is we're going to do a flagrant foul.
Should be a flagrant 1 there. No real malicious intent. Flagrant 2 would be an immediate disqualification. I do believe, at least potentially, it has not been announced in the stadium. I guess we'll see if Dean takes 4 or 2 free throws. First one does not go. Second one will go, and players will now return to the line, and it's...
I think we're going to get it out of bounds.
Yeah, it will be Piedmont basketball. So I do believe that is a flagrant foul then that was assessed. So Piedmont will maintain possession even with the free throws, and we will get back to this one. 16-point deficit here in Cave Arena. Lob into Hellenbrook. Down to Jolly on the low block. He's worked himself into a bad spot. Get it back up top to Fisher Darden. They run Reardon off the line, but the tough left-handed layup will not go. Hellenbrook rebound put back. Won't go. Rebound to the Hawks here. What's the biggest difference that you see in today's game versus when you were playing in the Student Success Center?
Well, I'll say the game is spread out a little more. We based our game plan on, there was a big guy in the lane, and then, we ran things through him. Now, all the big guys are three-point shooters, and they handle the ball. And so back then, if the guy was 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 foot, you knew he was the point guard.
Oh, yeah.
And now, these guys are interchangeable. Any guy on this team that Coach Neely has here could probably bring the ball up the court.
Hellenbrook, 6'8", is a three-point shooter. So we finally make it to the first media timeout here with the foul on Jolly. So Piedmont trailing by 16. Mr. Mulligan, thank you so much for joining me here on the broadcast.
Yes,
it's been great to have you. So
thanks for having me.
When we come back, Piedmont trailing by 16. Welcome back here, Piedmont University Athletics on YouTube. Jolly to the line for two. The foul was on B.J. Brown. It's his third. Again, that was Octavius Mulligan, who had previously joined me on the broadcast, the Dean of the College of Education. Played here back in the 90s. Got here in 89. Red-shirted, played 90 to 93. Went on to coach here as well, and now returns as the Dean of the Department of Education, one of the most prestigious departments here at Piedmont. He brought some good luck with him as Piedmont's chipped into the lead. Jolly will make the second. We're going to get a shoe timeout. Ellenbrook got his shoe stepped on, and it came off. Will allow him to try to get it back on. He's got that big brace on his ankle again. Hellenbrook missed a couple games with a rolled ankle. Then, when one thing goes bad, it continues to get worse. Then had an illness that caused him to miss a game. He is now back, working on being towards 100%. Huntington right now has 3 scorers in double digits. Max Gardner, 15 points. B.J. Brown, 14. Jalen Washington, who has not scored at all in the second, has 12. Back to B.J. Brown. To the corner, run off the line. Ran straight into Devin Dean. Got to be careful here, just Townsend. That was a walk that he just got away with. And now Brown's going to get the foul down the lane. That is a 2-point swing. I don't know how you missed that travel. Wow, that is poor. There, Reardon's leading Piedmont with 12. Dean has 11. Hellenbrook's grabbed 7 boards. He's done a good job to stay out of foul trouble after picking up 2 fouls early in the first half. First free throw from Brown will go. He's now tied at 15 points for the lead for the Hawks. Auten checks back in. Auten is in some foul trouble. We'll see how long he's able to stay in there. He's got 3 already. B.J. Brown again with 3 as well. No foul trouble for the Lions after having some early. Jolly and Hellenbrook both had 2 before the halfway point in the first half. 14-48. Reardon's been the hot hand. Dean's had a good game as well, especially from the charity stripe. 5 for 8. Uncharacteristic for him to be that good. Too many hands from Auten, and there we go. There's his 4th. So just as quick as he enters, he's going to have to head right back to that bench. Tough for the big man there. He's had a good game thus far. 3 boards, 4 points, an assist and a block to his name. He actually stays on the floor here. They're going to let him play. If I'm Piedmont, I go right at him. And they do, to Dean. Wanted the backdoor Hellenbrook. Dean, tough down the lane, might have gotten away with a foul, did Auten. It's punched back out. Great effort there to Reardon for three, knocked down. Noah Reardon, really the only spark of offense for Piedmont. 4 for 7 from beyond the arc. 15 points. Leads to 14. Brown sneaks past Jolly. He's got Jolly in a bad spot. Jolly's got to be careful here. Down low to Auten. Got all three to jump. And then taps that one in off the glass. 16-point lead. Still 14 minutes. Plenty of game time left here. Jolly, hard take down the lane. Fouled by Townsend. That'll be his first personal foul. Jolly to the line for 2 yet again. Again, uncharacteristic for Jolly. He has just just 4 points. Coming out of the media timeout, he went 1 for 2 from the line, and now he's going to look to make these two push it to 7 points. But again, uncharacteristically low, averaging 24. Substitution here as Townsend will exit. Gardner enters. Our last guest of the day is due up after the next media timeout. Dalton Mueller going to join us, the assistant strength and conditioning coach over at Anderson. We'll get to hear about how that's going over there, hear about their successes, including a big win over a Division I team in basketball that made the NCAA tournament last year. So we'll get to hear all about that. Don't want to spoil too much. That's a charge. Whoa, okay, no call. Gardner layup good. I mean, that's a great finish. Through the contact. I mean, that is a clear charge, though. I know they're trying to get rid of that play in basketball. As Jolly pulls the three, it's no good. Hellenbrook able to pop it loose. Reardon crossover to the lane. Left-handed layup will go. Reardon is cooking. Bad foul there by Jolly. Maybe a little bit of frustration foul there as that'll be his third, team's second. First 2 fouls on him earlier in the half were tic-tac. Shot clock had to be moved back to 30. Auten has 4, and Piedmont still hasn't gone at him here. I'd love to see them go at him. Really remove, I mean, again, it removes him from the contest. He would be disqualified with his 5th foul. That would be big. Force Huntington to go deeper into that bench. That's a bad turnover there by Gardner. Threw it to Jolly. 1-on-1 with Brown. Brown has 4 fouls as well, and Jolly knows it, goes right at him for the bucket. Timeout called by Huntington. It's a 30-second one, and it'll extend to a media timeout. So when we come back, 13:04 left. Piedmont trailing by 12. Back out of the first called timeout, being a media timeout. We're bringing Dalton Mueller on early. Great to have you here, buddy.
Oh, super excited, Davis. It's actually my first time I've called a men's game for a little bit and been on air with them. I did some women's games back in my undergrad days here at Piedmont, so this is exciting for me.
Well, welcome back. It's always great to have alumni back here, especially for these contests. I mean, so many familiar faces. It really rewinds time here in Cave Arena, and I mean, no better face to have here than yours. Of course, assistant strength and conditioning coach over at Anderson, as that's a big turnover there. How's everything going there?
It's going great. It's been super awesome. This year has been a lot of growth up there at Anderson University. The department went from 2 strength coaches full-time to 4. So super excited there. Doubled in size, added football this fall. So we have a football director of strength and conditioning along with 2 assistants now than I had. So I've been able to fill that assistant role, one of them at least, and it's been a lot of excitement as it's grown and taken place.
That's awesome. Great to hear up there as Hellenbrook heads to the line for 2. Your men's basketball program. Big win over Furman the other day. What's it like to really see the student athletes that you work with, away from the spotlight, get to shine in the spotlight?
Oh, it's super exciting. I love the fact that I get to be a strength coach. I'm oftentimes not even really thought about in this kind of day and age. People kind of don't really know exactly what happens behind the scenes, and we get after it in the weight room. We're trying to get bigger and stronger, and to be honest, our men's basketball team did dominate Furman. And it was a huge part of the process and the work that they put into those guys. I'm super proud of them. It was also really cool to see that it just came into fruition, put it to a Division I team, like you said, and came out with a dub. It was big.
Love to see that. Max Gardner forgot to buy his airline ticket because he just went traveling. That was 5 steps before he realized that he had to dribble. That's a tough break there. Piedmont's got the lead to 10 here. A bucket will cut it to single digits for what feels like the first time in forever. It really has been forever. Piedmont was down 19-6 in the first quarter. Jolly, pull up 2, won't go. This one's poked away. R.J. Brown might have just stepped out of bounds. No call. So let it continue to play. Talk about the strength and conditioning program here. John Delph, of course, the lone coach here, but you got to do some work with him as we see a finish at the rim.
Yes, it was super exciting to see. Once I came here when it was Piedmont College, before it changed to Piedmont University, we didn't have a strength and conditioning coach. So we got one about 3 years ago now, started my senior year, and it was super exciting to have him on campus to finally take this athletic department to the next level, in all honesty. And we've seen a lot of growth there. John Delph's been a great asset to the student athletes here, and allowing them to grow and develop their game in other ways, getting bigger, getting stronger, working to get rid of injuries, but also just have a lot of fun and move a lot of weight. It's been super exciting to see that growth that he's brought. Revamped the weight room this past summer, repainted it, brought in new equipment. We've also added some technology pieces to it, which is something that a lot of schools just don't have, especially at the Division III level. So that's super exciting to see. Been a great friend, great mentor, and I'm super excited that I was able to take a little bit of part of that.
Wow. We're going to get an offensive foul on Joe Hellenbrook there. That's bad.
Wow, I honestly don't understand that call right there.
That's bad.
Watched a lot of basketball, played a lot of basketball in my days, and that's just the guy going after the ball, and it's just unfortunate, unlucky turn of events right there, especially as they're trying to cut into this lead some more.
Yeah, this is the 12 media timeout. We're going to keep it here. You could give a great perspective on that. You filled the role that Hellenbrook's filling right now as kind of the bigger forward, not really listed as a center, but playing this role where you're down in the paint, banging around for 40 minutes. What's it like down there, really in the trenches?
I mean, it's tough. Honestly, it's more mental than physical. Most things are in athletics and in sports and in life. Like, you can have all the physical attributes you need, but the mental toughness to be able to stay down there and fight for 40 minutes is brutal, because you got guys that are beating on you, banging on you, coming out of the game looking like you just got out of a boxing match. Sometimes it's really tough. That's just one of those unfortunate things where fighting for a loose ball and it just doesn't go our way. Trying to get a couple whistles, maybe a couple baskets to go our way, that'd definitely help us. But got to give props to Huntington. They came in with some energy today and haven't really let off the gas. It's good for the boys. They need this. It's a good battle right here in the second contest of league play, conference play. So super excited to see how this turns out.
What would you say to Hellenbrook now? Because obviously you're visibly frustrated with that call, as most of I'd say 99% of the arena was with that one. How do you shake off the mental side of that one?
It's a simple saying. You got to move on and forget about it. It's really tough to actually do that now, but the game's going at such a fast pace, especially men's basketball. You're moving up and down so fast, playing media to media. You got to forget about it, because if you let that thing linger, then you're going to get another dumb foul call here in a second. Now you're having to sit out, and it's going to hurt your guys when they need you in there. Probably league rebounder last time I checked. I can't remember, but definitely team leading rebounder. So we need him in there. And he's got to be able to remain calm and cool and just kind of move on to that next play right here.
Good block there. Possession will stay with Huntington. Hellenbrook was on pace through 10 games in the season to break the school record in rebounds. Of course, again, missed a couple games with injury, a game with illness, is a little bit behind. Still averaging 8.5 rebounds per game. That better be on Fisher Darden. There's no way it's on Hellenbrook. It is on Darden. Okay. So that is his second. That would have been Hellenbrook's fourth, so it's a good thing it's not on Hellenbrook. Hellenbrook and Jolly both have 3. Hellenbrook 7 boards thus far. Reardon the leading scorer with 17. Devin Dean's right behind him with 11 and 6 boards. Max Gardner cooking Piedmont right now. 20 points. He's getting some help from B.J. Brown, who is 16, and Jalen Washington, who has 12. 8 rebounds by Tate Goolsby as well. A lot of those came in the early portion of the first half here, but they'll mop up the floor. They'll send Randall Davis to the line off the Darden foul. It was his second personal here. 11:44 left in this one. Piedmont trailing by 13. Dalton, how do you approach this one really from a coaching standpoint? If you were Greg Neely here, how do you approach this one?
To be honest, I think it's time to ramp up our defense a little bit. We seem to look like we're just sitting back on our heels. We need to get a little pressure. I don't know if we can come out of this in this zone that he likes to do and trap the ball a little bit, maybe get back into that little full court pressure that we're in, just trying to create some chaos and cause some turnovers. We need to get some breaks that way. It looks like Huntington's just too comfortable in what we've been doing right now. We need to do something to kind of change it up, get some momentum swinging back the other way, especially for these Lions as they look to keep fighting for this lead.
Wiseman will check in for Dean. We'll see if that'll bring some extra tenacity on the defensive end and maybe a spark on the offensive one. It's been pretty much the Noah Reardon show. 6 of 13 from the floor, 4 of 7 from 3. Everybody else is shooting extremely poor. Only 32% as a team, as that's a lane violation there. Second free throw will not be good. 14-point deficit here. Greg Neely, again, a very storied coach, has a national championship under his belt during his time at Warren Wilson. He's been good here for Piedmont as well, and he really believes this squad, Dalton, is capable of greatness.
This is a very good squad. It's honestly probably one of the most well-rounded he's had here in a long time. It's just far as, you don't really know what you're going to get when you throw some guys out there just because there's so many guys that can score. Like you were saying, been a quiet night from Ryan Jolly, but Noah Reardon seemed to pick up the slack. And that really could be anybody. Fisher Darden's had some good games this year. Joe Hellenbrook, some big games as well, rebounding and scoring some putbacks.
Reardon needed that three to go badly, and it won't. Instead, it's Gardner leaking out against Jolly. Jolly with the block!
Got a boy right there.
Denied. Timed it perfectly. Cross court. Darden for 3. Big momentum swing as he knocks it down. We might get a timeout out of Huntington here. Nope, coach holds up his hand, says, let's wait, slow it down. 11-point deficit here.
Way to run the floor right there from the Lions. We got a little bit kind of a different look right here with Jolly in the middle. I haven't seen him ever play a lot in there, so trying to really switch it up on everywhere, see if they can't throw anything different out of it.
Great defense from Jolly. It allows Hellenbrook to get the board, and here come the Lions. Jolly attacking, drives left, and he'll be fouled hard there by Jalen Washington. Will be his third personal foul. Jolly will go to the line for 2 with a chance to cut it to single digits. Really good to see again, Dalton. A historic start to the season for Piedmont there. The 1 loss to Emory, then the massive win streak. Best start, I want to say, in the as far as the NCAA history of Piedmont. The best start. Again, you have a historic run coming from Jolly here, leading the conference, chance to be in the top of the country. Piedmont 6th overall in total offense in the country. It hasn't shown up here today, but again, it bodes really well for the rest of the season.
It really does. I mean, it's a great credit to these guys that have stuck around and really built this program out. We had some, turnovers, and it went from an older squad to a younger squad. Had some growing pains, especially when I started out my first couple of years, trying to figure it out. And now that it's finally kind of got a good mix of older guys to younger guys that are figuring it out, and now we're kind of seeing that offense explode. I mean, it's a real simple thing, and that's what it should be. Basketball's supposed to be simple. They're out there having a lot of fun. That's what it's allowed them to score high games. I mean, they've had multiple games over 100 points, multiple guys have scored 20 plus, some that have scored 30. So it's really exciting to see all that turn out.
And Piedmont, this is a turnover there. Backcourt violation. There's that tenacious defense. Piedmont's got a good mix of older and young guys. They've also hit the portal really hard, Dalton. 3 big players that see a lot of time. Devin Dean, Jeremiah Carter-Johnson, Griffin Neville. I mean, 3 really impacted guys that have come out of the portal now, and it's a testament to Greg Neely adapting with the times. It's really where college is heading as Jolly throws that one away.
The transfer portal has become really huge, especially now that the NCAA has even backed up having to set players out. Everybody's getting immediate play. And so for some of these guys, a few years ago, they'd have to sit out. And now they're getting out there, getting that time. And so it's really huge to be able to buy into that and, use that to your advantage and build out this squad. But you also have some guys that have been around from a while to show them the ropes. We run a defense that nobody else in the country runs. And so having those older guys show those transfers how we do it has been great, and that's allowing them to excel and exceed in this.
Hellenbrook, Reardon, Jolly all spent many years developing in this system. Fisher Darden, a great success story as well, as Gardner pulls the 3. It won't go. Hellenbrook the rebound. Out to Wiseman. Darden didn't play hardly at all last year. Worked extremely hard during the offseason. Came back bigger after the summer. And now, again, he looks like a totally different player from a year-to-year basis. And
he took that sophomore jump, and that's what a lot of coaches love to see. He was one of those guys that didn't get a lot of time. He needed some development, and so he worked his tail off, and it's showing out this entire year. He's had some big games. Had a huge game against Coastal back home for him in this South Carolina State area right there, Myrtle Beach. Huge game there, but that's what we need. That's what a program gets built off of. I had a coach tell me one time, it's not you that was going to change the program. We're trying to find the next you. It's the guy that that comes after you that was looking to replace you. So it makes you have to work a little bit harder. And so Fisher, saw that, and now he's succeeding and excelling because of that, and it's awesome to see.
Piedmont hits the South Carolina area heavy. 5 guys from that Murrells Inlet, Myrtle Beach type area, James Island. Those hometowns here. Piedmont's cut the lead to 7. Next is Ryan Jolly at the charity stripe. Well, that floater will push it back to 9. That's a good shot from Miles Murphy. He was the one that committed the foul on the other side. He's got 3 to his name. Jolly pass to Reardon's a little bit awkward. Wow, they're going to call Reardon for a double dribble there. They're saying he dribbled it initially off of Jolly's pass and then regathered and dribbled again. So 9-point deficit, 9:13 left here in Cave Arena.
Just an unfortunate turn of events right there. We had some momentum going our way, and it looks like,
got away with an illegal screen there. That one almost poked loose. Everybody leaked up court. Hellenbrook blocks it and gets the board. Tried to connect with Reardon. It's knocked out by R.J. Brown. Yeah, Wiseman's telling the ref there. It was Tate Goolsby threw an elbow on the pick. Knocked over Lesh. But he got away with it. Oh my, Reardon just cooked him. Reardon just cooked him and puts it away. Little floater finish there. That's a dunk on the other end though. That's going to be a technical foul for hanging on the rim. That's a big turn of events there as Nate Johns.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big guy. I love a good dunk.
I was going to say.
To be honest, some of these rules that we have now just kind of baffle me. I get the call because it is in the rule book. You're not allowed to hang on it like that. But to be honest, sometimes it's for the player's safety.
I was going to say, I think for player safety, when your momentum's carrying you, as you know, a big guy, when your momentum's carrying you, the only way to stop is to hang on the rim. You risk injury if you get let go.
And so I think that was one of those unfortunate ones right there. It was more so he had some momentum, just wanted to make sure he had his balance back under him. It's really unfortunate. I'm rooting for my homeboys, my Lions, but I think that's just a tough call for Huntington right there.
I'd like to see, again, I'm with you. It's in the rule book. By the rules, that is a technical. That is one rule I think I'd like to see changed. I think it would need to be excessive to be considered a technical foul. Now, obviously, words are still being exchanged between players and coaches at the moment as Jolly goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Lead goes to 5. This will also be a Piedmont ball as well.
Just some chippiness out there, just some competitiveness amongst the guys. Piedmont Lions and the Huntington Hawks have always had a tough rivalry. It's tough going down there to Huntington and playing at their place, and it's even tough playing here with everything. So guys are just trying to leave it all out there on the court. As you can kind of hear, the fans are getting into it a little bit as well.
So Johns assessed the technical there. Ends up costing his team 2 points and a Piedmont possession. We'll see if he can make it cost him 5. Wiseman for 3. Won't go. Lesh can't grab it as well. Leaking up here. Big dunk again. He missed the dunk. Oh, that's tough. That's why you just lay it in. Jolly has it poked loose from behind. 3-on-1 break. Reardon over to Gardner. Blocked by Reardon. They're going to call the foul. Might have gotten a little bit of extra with that other hand.
It's one of those things that was a huge momentum right there for Huntington and just missed a simple dunk, unfortunately. Got a little too excited. Can't say I haven't done that before.
Yeah, I think we all know that one a little bit too well. I know myself. Not a big dunk guy. I'd be rude. We need to be up by 20 for me to think about trying that. So maybe Gardner should have laid that one off as well. It all works out in the end as he does knock down the first free throw.
Good game right here. Lions, like you said, down 19 early, and we're fighting back. Not giving up. This is a good sign to see that these guys aren't going to have any quitting them, and that's exactly what you want to see out of your players. And on both sides of the court, Huntington could have got complacent with the lead. They're still fighting and hungry as well. So this has turned out to be a really good game.
9-point deficit for the Lions here. 8 minutes, 2 media timeouts And a host of timeouts for Greg Neely as well. This one far from done. Got to make each possession count. Hellenbrook for three. Does not go, and Lesh was leaking back up court. But he will not be there to grab the board. So that dead ball takes us to the under 8 media timeout. When we come back, Piedmont trails by 9. Dalton's staying, and so are we. We got 7:54 left in this one here, and, well, 9-point deficit for Piedmont to overcome here. 9-point deficit, manageable. Definitely not where you want to be with 7:54 left, but manageable.
Not where you want to be, but there's been some teams, that have come back from 26 before with 2 minutes to go. It's doable. It's just you got to lock in on the defensive end and then just start making some shots on the other side of the court. Just falling really short on much of our shots today for Piedmont. Maybe some heavy legs due to the game last night.
Reardon and Jolly starting to come to life. Of course, Reardon has been his show, but Jolly now with 15. He'll grab the board as well. Up to Reardon. Hard take through the contact. That should be an and one, but we'll just take the 2.
Love watching Noah Reardon's game. This guy can really finish any way that he wants to finish.
That one's going to be on the floor. Fouls on Wiseman. Definitely on Wiseman there as he picks up his second foul. It is a team 7th, so we'll go to line for a 1-and-1. Wiseman, slow game as well, averaging almost 11 points, just 2 today. As now R.J. Brown heads to line. He's got 16, Dalton.
He has been playing a very solid game. I don't think he's forced much. He's kind of been taking what's been coming to him, and that's what you want to see out of a point guard. Not forcing it, controlling the floor, going there.
Ooh, Darden went down hard here. That is a scramble, and no, they need to take a look at that one. I think R.J. Brown touched that one out of bounds. No, they're going to call a foul on Hellenbrook. Wow, it's a trip on Hellenbrook.
I think that's just 2 guys fighting over the basketball right there. Unfortunate foul right there on Hellenbrook. I hate that for him. But that's just 2 guys going for the basketball. I think that's one that you need to let play out and just see what happens. R.J. Brown definitely was out of bounds, so that would have been a huge momentum boost for the Lions. But now he's over here at the line to shoot 1-on-1.
Wow, that is surprising. One-on-one opportunity, 18 fouls for Piedmont here. First one bounces around and sinks through. 8-point deficit. 77-69. 7:11 left in this one. Second one's good as well.
No harm, no foul. Lions still down 9. Still plenty of time to go. They just got to start figuring out on the offensive side right now. They're getting stops. You just need to start figuring out how to get the ball in the hoop.
Lesh feeds Jolly. That was a risky pass, and it results in a turnover. Jolly tried to poke it loose from behind. That's over and back. And that is a mental error from Miles Murphy. Didn't know where he was at on the floor, so the Lions bailed out after they turn it over. They get it right back. Lions still only shooting 32% from the floor coming out of that last media break. I mean, that is just so low for a team that shot the ball so well. Huntington shooting near 50%. I mean, that's a tough deficit to overcome.
It is very tough. This is a shooter's gym. I mean, it's just a perfect setup for it. And unfortunately, it's just not a shooter's gym for our Lions today. Huntington, though, they're playing a very solid game, ready and excited to play. We'll see what happens here these last 7 minutes.
Ellenbrook handoff to Jolly. Jolly trapped in the lane. Jolly to Darden. Darden for three, won't go, and it's over the backboard. That is a dead ball rebound for the Hawks.
I feel like every time the Lions get down the floor, they get those wide open shots. We're just missing them today.
Yeah,
like
just not knocking them down.
Could be just heavy legs from the game last night. You know, some guys playing a lot of minutes. Just could be just one of those days for them, unfortunately.
This is a less than 24-hour turnaround. Of course, last night's game tipped off at 7 o'clock. This one tipped off at 4. We were a couple minutes behind, maybe tipped off at about 4:15, but either way, I mean, that's less than 24 hours, and last night was a thriller.
Both teams over 100 points. I mean, it was a high-scoring game from the start to finish right there.
And it wasn't from a lack of defense at all. I mean, it was a lot of defense, just neither team could miss.
Sometimes you just have those games, and that's just what happens. So could just be a little bit of a factor with that, you know, looking at the sports performance side of things. You know, guys, just heavy season, long games, long nights, you know, not enough time to rest and recover. But, you know, the Lions after this get a week off of playing action, so hopefully it'll be a good, nice reset for them.
And CCS, of course, it is open season is what we'll call it. There is no clear front-runner team as that one's missed. Rebound and kick out to Reardon. He gets his pocket picked by R.J. Brown. Numbers for the Hawks. Feed down the lane. Blocked by Hellenbrook. But the second chance gathered up and scored by Tate Goolsby.
Great jump by Hellenbrook to get up there and get that block. Just unfortunately right to R.J. Brown, and they were able to turn it into some points right there.
11 points. Stop and pop for Darden won't go. Dean can't get the board, and the woes continue on the offensive end. 5:41 to play. This one down low, and another easy bucket. That'll draw a timeout out of Greg Neely. While we take the quick 30-second timeout, Dalton, we'll talk about the CCS here. I mean, it's just so loaded, nobody knows who's going to win. You got Belhaven with 2 7-footers in the lane. You got a strong Covenant squad. Piedmont's looked great. The LaGrange team we beat last night already beat Belhaven. Huntington clearly here to compete. I mean, it's open season.
It really is. And to be honest, that goes back all the way to its USA South days for this conference before we did the split. I mean, it was always that way. You never knew who was going to be at the top because at any given time, anybody can win. You know, travel is a factor. I mean, you know, we got to go out to Mississippi here and play. Like, that's a tough travel road trip. Going up to Berea, Kentucky is a tough road trip. I mean, there's just tough gyms to play in. Covenant, small gym, loud atmosphere. You know, Maryville, a strong history of basketball there, making a tournament for, you know, numerous years. And so, to be honest, it's really anyone's game at any point. And we've seen that throughout, you know, the past years, just finishing up the USA South play and to CCS play too. It's just, you never know who's going to win because it can really go any way. And that's what's super exciting about this conference, just because there's not one dominant, you know, team. It can really be anybody's game, and I think that's a favor for all teams, especially as they look to keep adding, expanding, and, you know, growing this conference.
Yeah, Asbury, of course, the newest addition to the conference. They will join, I believe, next year. A couple other schools as well, rumored to be taking a peek at the Collegiate Conference of the South, see what's happening. And I love that you mentioned the small gym at Covenant, because small is an understatement. That gym is tiny. Of course, tiny. Jackson, Mississippi, the home of Belhaven. That's a rough road trip. Made that one before. And, of course, Kentucky for Berea is also a rough one. So we'll continue to see the development of the conference. Tournament will be fun, but position and seeding are going to be huge. Piedmont would love to be at home, and it starts with winning games like this one, making those comebacks. Miles Murphy whistled for the foul. That will be his 4th.
Yes, that's what's super exciting. You gotta love basketball. At any given point, anybody can win. It's just, you know, testament to the game and what the guys do. What happens different days. You know, one team's hot, one team's cold. You never know. Anything can happen.
1-1 here for Jolly. Need at least the first one. First one goes, we are actually in the double bonus here, so it is 2. 10 total team fouls on Huntington. Change here. Hellenbrook will exit. Wiseman back in. Starting 5 for Piedmont have put in their fair share of minutes. Everybody over 20, pretty much everybody over 25, nearing 30 total minutes out of the 40 played. This is a good trap. They did let him escape. That's Miles Murphy. Miles Murphy through the lane, wanted to go down low. Jolly will gather up the turnover. Chance for a point swing. Dean fed, pocket picked by Murphy. Ooh, Wiseman got to be careful there. That would not have been a good foul to give away. Jolly goes down hard, and that is a block. He must be in the restricted area.
It looked like he was in the restricted area, but also looked like he was falling and leaning just a little bit there. Unfortunate for the Lions. Tough break. It seems like the Lions decided to ramp up the energy right there, trap in out of the timeout, and then get a turnover, and then just unfortunately give it right back to them on the other end. We're trying to get momentum, and it's just anything that we do, it goes right back the other direction.
Turnover battle pretty much even there. It's 14 for the Lions, 15 for Huntington. So that's Jolly's 4th personal foul. Hellenbrook and Jolly both now with 4.
And still a lot of time left in this game.
4:54, one more media break. Greg Neely, 2 timeouts. I believe Huntington has 3.
Between that and then also every time that we foul, now everybody's going to the line, so that extends this game as well. So now it's going to be a free throw battle here if we can get back into this somehow. But Greg's going to trust his guys out there. Coach Neely does a great job of letting this team be player-led, which is pretty exciting. So leave out there, even though he's got 4, Jolly does. He's going to be out there continuing to run the show. Hopefully get these guys corralled.
4:54 left in this one. Piedmont has no fouls left to give. You are correct, and we've been in the double bonus for Huntington here. So Piedmont trails by 11. Make it stay at 11. Okay, that one bounces all around, does not go in. RJ Brown's had a couple of those here today. 82-71, been quite the day on campus. Alumni Day, women picked up a tough win earlier. Now the men trying to battle back. Brown goes 0 for 2. Up to Wiseman. Had to be careful there. Make sure he stayed in bounds. Jolly now. Jolly, hard drive. Feed to Dean, and it's a good layup and score. Devin Dean, been in double figures, had a really good game. Jolly picks up his 5th assist. Excuse me, make that his 3rd assist. Big turnover there. Dean down the lane. Dean down the lane. Hard, big layup. And just like that, Piedmont again slicing into this lead.
Coming alive a little bit there. I like that Jolly's still looking to get this offense going even though he's not scoring. That's what you want to see out of a player like that.
Gardner, another bucket. And now it's Jolly. Gets his pocket picked by R.J. Brown, and the turnovers now starting to plague Piedmont in necessary possessions. Tough take from R.J. Brown as he continues to roll forward. And just like that, Dalton, the lead was down to 7. Now it's right back to 11.
Again, anytime Piedmont's trying to get some momentum, Huntington's finding a way to get a hand on the basketball, end up with the loose ball, win those 50-50s. It's just, they want it. And you can see that right now.
While laid up for Wiseman does not go. Once again, the other way. Corner 3. Knocked down Jalen Washington. 15 points for him. That's his first bucket in forever. Almost all of his points came in the first half, if not all of them. Noah Reardon gets it right back, and that will draw a timeout out of somebody. Didn't see who called it, but we will head to the media timeout off of it. 30 seconds called by Piedmont. We'll head to the media break here. Piedmont trails by 11 when we come back. Welcome back here. 3:22 left to play. Noah Reardon has 24 points here in Cave Arena. He is putting in the work. Hellenbrook, 12 rebounds. Dean, 15 points, 7 boards. Double-double watch for him, but more important thing, Piedmont's down by 11 here. Max Gardner and B.J. Brown have just cooked the Lions. 24 points for Gardner, 20 points for Brown. 8 boards as well for Brown and Tate Goolsby. Another pull-up jumper. This one kicks around, doesn't go. Good rebound there by Fisher Darden. Now it's up to Dean. Got to be careful with these. They're going to call it a gather step. Back up to the top. Darden for 3, and it's knocked down. Dean with the assist. Darden with the bucket. He's got 13.
May have gotten away with one right there, but the Lions are definitely going to take that. Good shot right there by Fisher Darden.
Bad foul there from Wiseman. He'll pick up his 3rd personal. That'll send the Hawks to the line for a 1-and-1. You found Brown as well, who's had a very strong game, but not from the free throw line. Just 6 for 11, barely above 50%. 89-81. 8-point deficit. Brown can extend it to 10. He'll make the first one.
Still plenty of time here for the Lions. Just got to gather and get some stops, and then keep running the floor, looking to get good open shots.
Second one goes as well. 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. 91-81. 2:34 left. As Dalton said, good shots and knockdown shots. That's what you need. Good backdoor cutting action. Dean in the lane. Dean back out to Darden. Darden, another 3. It rims out. Jolly's attempted putback clanks off the iron. Really just trying to gather the board, but it almost worked as a tip in there. Brown might have just gotten away with a carry. Reardon poked it loose into the backcourt here. 19 to work with. Washington to Gardner. Gardner through Dean. That has got to be a charge, and finally we get one. That is just there. Gardner's first personal foul.
Good job there by Reardon to pick up some defensive intensity. Got Huntington out of a rhythm, able to allow them to get sped up right there. Not sure what they were going to do. Got a good look on the baseline, and then Dean was just right there waiting.
Dean heads to the bench for the time being. Hellenbrook back in. He has 4 fouls. Got to be careful as well. Jolly has 4 fouls. Only other player above 2 is Wiseman with 3. Foul trouble as well on the other side. Auden and Murphy both have 4. We haven't seen them in a while. Might not see them again for the remainder of this game. A couple players with 3. B.J. Brown, Jalen Washington. That's why Washington has not been present much in the second half, despite having 12 in the first. Reardon's 3 does not go. Rebound to the Hawks. Felt like that one had to go in with just 1:50 remaining.
He's been making them all game, and coach is going to let him shoot that. He's got a green light.
Floater will not go. Back out into basically a tip-in jump shot. Don't think I've ever seen that one. Caught it and shot it in one motion, and it looked clean. Jolly for 3. It's short. Will not go. Jolly to keep it alive. And they'll say he landed before he gave it back to Lesh. And well, Dalton, 12-point deficit, 1:28 left. Not looking good.
Not looking good for the Lions. The Lions haven't really forced anything. They keep getting the shots they want. They're either just short or they're rattling in and out, unfortunately for them.
Some days it is just not your day.
But like we were saying earlier, with this conference and how wide open it is, you're going to have some games where you're going to lose, unfortunately. But it doesn't mean you're necessarily out of contention. Got a long conference play ahead.
Gardner knocked down the layup on the other end, leads back to 14. Fisher Darden, fadeaway, air ball. And that will likely see the end of this contest. 57 seconds left. Huntington into Cave Arena, puts it on the Lions with some great shooting here. They're not done just yet. That one does end up missing, but just 46 seconds in counting. Dalton, there's really, again, not too much to take away. The turnovers weren't pretty from the Lions. The shooting has been even worse. And again, it's just one of those days. Fatigue, chalk it up to what you want to. Last night's game so intense, so many points. Maybe just not ready for today. R.J. Brown, that's a very petty foul to end this game. Not sure why that one was necessary.
Not like we were trying to do anything to get the ball back. It was just
Reardon was just kind of running beside him there, just making sure his coach knows he hasn't given up effort completely. And Brown forearm to the face there. Kind of put a little bit of a damper on a good Huntington win there, but nonetheless they'll dribble it out.
Tough day for the Lions. Just couldn't find the bottom of the net. It's just unfortunately like that sometimes. But good job by the Huntington Hawks. Come in here, they shot it, excellent today. Played a really good sound game from start to finish.
Chance to make another statement next weekend. Piedmont's back. Another 4 p.m. Saturday game. They'll take on Belhaven. CCS matchup before they head on the road for the rest of January until the 30th. So that's all we've got here. We'll see you next Saturday.